Hey guys, this is Real Appalachia with Shane.
And Melody.
And today we are coming at you from, I'll let you do the honors.
Radford, Virginia.
Radford, Virginia, home of Radford University.
Yes, and it's very windy, Radford, today.
Yes.
So that's why we're in the car.
Yeah, we're a couple of creatures of comfort here, so we'll get out as little as possible.
That's all right. But anyways, we're going to show you the city of Radford and Radford University. And maybe somebody watching this is about to go to school there.
Yeah, and by the miracle of editing, we're going to jump on that campus right.
Wait a second. If you like this video, give us the thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and share.
Now watch this. Well, we're better to kick it off then at Radford University, right?
That's right.
A big employer and a big reason for population around here.
When I hear Radford, I think of the university. So, and it is a public university in Radford.
Yes.
That's where they got the name, is what I hear.
Well, that would make sense.
It was founded in 1910, and it's one of only 8 in the state of Virginia that has doctorate degrees.
Oh, really?
For public university. Yeah.
Oh.
There is around 11,000 students here. So, pretty big school.
Yeah, it is.
And it was actually first a women's college, the State Normal and Industrial School for Women at Radford. So,
yeah,
it's a lot easier to shorten that name.
I'm guessing. I don't see the demographics or anything, but I would guess that when there's a guy, but I would still guess that it's majority women here, just based on my time when I went to Virginia Tech. It was,
I think you mostly saw women here for a reason when you were in college.
Anyways, let's go.
Don't you think? They look like they got nice housing, and so seems like a pretty nice little school. I
saw,
it is. David Cook from American Idol here years ago.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time you bragged about that today. You're David Cook. You're his biggest remaining fan, I believe.
So Frank Beamer went here, right?
I know he coached the high school around here, but helped do.
He was an alumni of the school.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what they bragged, anyways.
Did not know that.
So he was a former head coach of Virginia Tech football.
Yes, and a local legend for sure.
Eddie Butler, MLB player.
Eddie Butler.
Yeah.
Is this where he came? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Because we got something we want to show you. A very special building.
Very special. Oh, I had to think about it a minute. Yeah. Jayma Mays from Grundy. She also went to Radford University.
I did not know that.
She was on the show Glee.
Was she not?
And Paul Blart Mall Cop.
I was thinking she was also in the Smurfs.
She was in the Smurfs, yes.
And I know that from my daughter. I've watched that movie more than
Oh, yeah?
just about anything else combined.
It's understandable.
Yeah, good movie. I don't mind it. You know Patrick Harris?
Yeah. Marty Smith, ESPN commentator. He also went to Radford.
Did not know that. He's
Yes.
kind of a whiny guy, but hey, what do you do? There's the church-turned apartments, I guess, when you say.
We're assuming. We looked for some history, and we couldn't find it, but it looks like an old church.
Yeah.
Very cool. Maybe we can pull in this parking lot and get a better shot of it, because it's just beautiful. It's right up from where we ate.
Yeah.
Or we're going to eat, depending on how
Well,
we
decide to stick this in the video. Yeah. You'll never know.
That's right.
I guess we just told, though.
Have we ate or have we not?
I'm hungry. Are you? Okay. Now I'm zigzagging around here like Austin Powers trying to get in, but it's so cool not to show this, though, isn't it?
I know, it really is. I mean, look at all this stained glass, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building. So,
yes.
And it's now apartments. We're assuming probably part of housing.
Yeah, it looks like student housing, that whole row. I would
Yeah.
imagine this town is a little pushed for student housing, I would guess. 11,000 is a lot of people to
accommodate.
So, and this is close to campus, easy walking distance.
Yes.
So I'd assume that most people there are students. All right, tell them what you got there.
I just got the barbecue pork sandwich.
I got the exact same thing.
Memphis Slick barbecue. Everything for us.
Look at you, spraying it all over there. I got the same thing. I got some green beans, trying to get a teeny bit healthier, just this much, right? Pretty good atmosphere in here, though. Where we at the tie-dyed pig, right? And bakery. It's a diner and bakery. Alrighty, we just left the tie-dyed pig diner and bakery. What's your thoughts?
It was really, really good. I got the pork barbecue sandwich on the Texas toast. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, we're freezing right now, or we'd say more, but it's a good place. You need to check it out.
Very windy.
And that Reese's peanut butter cookie was, I don't know how we avoided that. We're doing better.
Yeah.
We're making better choices.
I'm really proud of us that we didn't get that, but
I'm
it
shocked.
Amazing.
I'm proud and shocked and a little disappointed, but let's go.
Let's go. So, we were talking that Radford almost seems like it has two downtown sections.
Yeah.
This little part that we're in, and then there's another little, what looks like downtown section up the road to the left. So it's kind of unique.
Yeah, you can see this old building to the left. It says M. Jackson Hardware Company, which is probably what it originally was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's Sharky's event venue now, but I love seeing old buildings like that are still just amazingly good shape.
Yep.
We'll make a right here because we haven't been here yet. This will be an event for us.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying earlier you haven't been to Radford hardly.
Just that one time.
Just one
to
time.
see David Cook. I don't know if I mentioned
no, but
that I saw him.
you had so many stars in your eyes when you was going to see him that you couldn't pay attention to the town.
Yeah. This is a really cool theater up here. It has Radford all lit up.
Yeah, and it looks like they're using it for a theater still instead of sometimes you see them as event venues and that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
it would appear
Yes.
that it is still a theater.
So, Radford was formerly known as Lovely Mount. Yeah.
Kind of catchy, yeah.
It was an unincorporated community. And before 1854 and the arrival of the Virginia and Tennessee Railroad, Lovely Mount had a population of only 30, but grew to around 100 in 2 years. So, pretty good growth. By 1890, the town had grown to more than 3,000 and was eventually absorbed into the town of Radford. So Radford's also been Central City, English Ferry, and Ingalls Ferry. It is an independent city with a population of about 16,000.
Wow.
Yep.
I do know, and it's probably because of its college affiliation. All right, there's no probably to it. It's absolutely the reason, but it is bucks the trend too about in elections politically.
Yeah.
It votes Democratic almost exclusively, whereas almost everything else in Southwest Virginia is Republican, and pretty dramatic swing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Radford, anytime you got a big university like that, it tends to sway it
Right, yeah.
to the left.
So we kind of flipped the script by the power of editing, but I'll pick up where Shane left off.
Yes.
That Radford was the home of the Crumb and Get It bakery incident, in which a bakery owner declined to host for an event for then Vice President Joe Biden, citing political differences. And the incident sparked significant media coverage and a surge in business for the bakery. So that kind of shows that the left leaning comes from the university.
Oh yeah, that's
rather than
the
actual.
Yeah, when I went to Virginia Tech, it's kind of the same thing as Radford as far as the townspeople are just completely opposite of the university people.
Mm-hmm.
But they're at this point outnumbered.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So something I didn't get into before was Radford was named for Dr. John B. Radford. So Radford was originally a very small village of people that had gathered near the New River. But then they had a big jump in population when the Virginia and Tennessee Railroad come through around 1854. So, railroad town. You see a lot of booms in railroad towns, right?
Oh yeah, that's a major thing back in the day when it was the primary way of travel.
Yep. So the school originally started as a women's college in 1913. But then in 1924 it actually became Radford College, and in 79 it reached university status, so it became Radford University.
And it never looked back after that.
Also, in the 40s, the very early 40s, the U.S. military decided to build a manufacturing plant for gunpowder and other ammunition needed by the military. So the arsenal was built, come into place then.
Got some friends that work there. So it's an interesting job.
You were saying it's a huge employer in the area.
It has been for years and years and years.
Yeah. And that's what built a lot of the housing communities, was the arsenal, to house the people that come to work there. So, but the railroad stopped passenger train service through Radford in 1971 with the interstate system. So that's one thing that would kind of hit a town normally, but I think the university keeps it hopping, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's probably the biggest driver of things. But
we're right in the middle of that second downtown you were talking about.
Yes, and you can see that. I feel like this would be like the older part, because that building back there was really cool looking, and there's some really, really neat places down through here.
I know you hit me up for that coffee just a minute ago too.
I did, yeah. I said that we should get out and show them the town, and if there's parking in front of the coffee place,
yeah.
There looks like another old church that's now, what was that, like a brewery or something like that? I couldn't tell exactly, but it was a really cool building. There's the doghouse. The doghouse. I'm guessing it's a hot dog restaurant.
I would guess so.
Here's that other really cool building on the left.
Yeah. Let's turn in here and see if we can find that Glencoe Museum too, because it's a pretty good little...
Call Morgan
Wallen, or... What are we talking about?
Glencoe Museum, Radford.
I would have to assume it's up on this hill, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's a beautiful house.
It is, and it was owned by a Confederate general at one time, General Wharton.
Cool.
And now it's been converted into a museum that has a lot of local artifacts and memorabilia and so forth.
Yeah, there's this little park down there to the left.
Kind of just a neat little architecture here.
Yes.
All right, as I discussed earlier, this home was actually owned by General Gabriel Wharton and his wife Nanny Radford Wharton, by the way. And they had discussed a lot during the end of the Civil War about the New River. There was a lot of disputes about that, and the Confederacy tried to keep it really desperately, and then the Union was trying to take it, and then it ended up that the bridge was taken out. It ended up being set on fire by some cannonballs and all that type of thing, and then burned down, and then they ended up building this home, what is now the Glencoe Mansion, overlooking the new reconstructed New River Bridge. So it stayed in that family's hands for over a century, and they wrote a lot of journals, documents, and all kinds of stuff about that. So it's kind of neat. They have a lot of that stuff in here in the museum, which unfortunately we don't have time to go in and look at today, but love to be able to come back and check it out. Gorgeous house though, isn't it?
Beautiful. Don't know what this place is, but it's really neat looking.
I know, it's just very interesting. It looks like they've been built onto at some point, doesn't it?
Yes. So I'm going to throw this out here too, because I thought this was really cool. I mentioned that Ingalls Ferry was part of Radford. And Mary Draper Ingalls, who was captured by Shawnee Indians and she managed to escape in 1755. Her and her husband, they developed a ferry in this area, and that was in 1762. So they had a ferry, and it's pretty neat that she
When you were saying all that, at first I thought you were talking about having an affair. Then I thought you were saying a ferry, and then a ferry. Okay, I got it now.
A ferry, yeah.
Ferry. A ferry would be cool, wouldn't it?
I know I didn't like word that great, but
No, you did fine. I was just not listening very good.
and so when her husband William passed away in 1782, their son Thomas Ingalls took over, and I just thought that was neat that she had such a cool story, and then they ended up running a ferry, and yeah. I always love these like second story porches.
I know it put me in the mind of New Orleans.
I was going to say, it looks like New Orleans.
That's exactly like where I stayed.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
I know. You should be. It's a nice place.
With that rocking chair that's sitting out on the side of the road, you think we can fit that in your car?
Yeah, but it's kind of neat to see those cars go across the bridge up here too, but we're just saying that because we got to see it anyway. Might as well make it. Well, that dirt pile. The world's largest dirt pile. Filled with rocks.
Filled with rocks.
Oh, I'm going to get you to that coffee house or die trying.
I just love that building too. I think that's really neat.
Now that would be a dream for like a mercantile or something.
And like a Airbnb on the top.
Looks like they got a bunch of trophies. Maybe a dance studio or something. Karate.
Yes.
Karate studio.
And there's an HVAC service on the other side. Why isn't that something more like flashy though? You know? It should be.
And that's somebody needs to buy that building and put them all.
The corner here that we just passed, it looks like it was probably a bank.
Yeah.
You think? They all have that same look.
Well, it was a quest, but we got some coffee.
Yes.
You don't look as happy as you should be.
No, I'm super happy. I haven't drank any of it.
I think you're just relieved. Yeah, it's like a stress off of you.
Yes. So I got French toast and brown sugar flavors in a latte. I'm so excited.
We don't sleep on the Italian sodas here, too. I got this peach.
Yes.
And it was amazing. Where are we? Arabica Cafe?
Yes.
Arabic-ish?
Got us the local.
Yes. As promised, a little bit of the downtown action there. There's the Arabica, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, coffee place we just came from. Little cafe. And that's an old building. You don't usually see them in that kind of deterioration. Neat little downtown area, I must say. Right, just down from the campus that you can see in the background. Alrighty, we could not come to Radford, Virginia and not stop at the St. Albans Sanatorium. Now, we hope to have a little bit more in-depth inside look at it, but today we had to show it from the outside and tell you a little bit more about it so we can teach you for a video we might be doing down here down the road.
Yes. Yeah, so St. Albans started as an elite boys' school in 1915 and later on become the sanatorium. And since it has had a ton of coverage for being one of the most haunted places in the eastern United States. And I just heard a noise. That was kind of creepy.
Oh, no, it was.
So, yeah, it's very creepy vibe here. But we didn't want to shortchange it without getting to go inside today. So we'll give y'all a little bit more later on, but there's the gist.
Yeah, we'll show you a little bit of it, but that's...
Yeah. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do that. So when we come back, you won't miss this video.
Exactly.
Yes.
So as we alluded to a little bit earlier, they do hype it up as a haunted house type thing now, as you can see from this ice cream truck.
Yes.
And then somebody says help. Looks like painted in blood almost on here. So.
Yeah. It's very creepy.
Yes, it's St. Albans Sleigh House is what he called it there.
Yeah.
So this, I'm surprised someone hadn't used this for a movie or something.
I really am, yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's in pretty rough shape right now, unfortunately.
I know, I'm surprised you can still go through it, but apparently
yeah, me too.
They have events from time to time, paranormal, and
yeah,
obviously very popular for that because, like you said, it's supposedly the most haunted place on the East Coast, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, some ghost paranormal investigators have said that. So.
What do you say?
I don't know. I haven't been through it, but I love haunted houses. But I actually want to go through and just look and hear the history and give you guys a look at that too. So
yeah, right now it's obviously marked off and a lot of no trespassing because we'd love to bust in here, but we also don't like breaking laws. We're funny that way. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this look at Radford, Virginia.
Yes. And if my hair is all over the place all in this video, please don't judge me. It's super windy.
If mine is, please judge me. Feel free.
Yeah.
Feel free to judge me any way you want to, because I got Gorilla Glue in here today.
All right, guys, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, tell all of your friends about us, and we will see you on down the road.
Yes, we're going to get out of this parking lot as quick as possible.
That's right.